Manchester United lose 3-0 to Liverpool, and it was a disastrous game, a disgrace from start to finish, none of the players put anything on the line. These are going to be the quick play way into Manchester United's game. Please do drop a like, comment, subscribe if you are new. Let's get straight into it. So, let's start off with Andre Onana. I think he could have done better on second. Certainly that Liverpool goal. I think his performance today was average, maybe below average. Some of his distribution was really, really poor. Lack of intent in the game. And listen, you look at him from playing out from the back, he didn't really give us any confidence going forward. So listen, I think Onana, you got to give him a 5 out of 10, a poor performance. There wasn't one standout player for me, maybe even bar Amad Diallo, who really took this game by surprise, and there was a couple of others, but the positives are really, really slim coming out of this game after we lost 3-0. But right back from Mazraoui, I think he was okay. One-on-one was sharp. I don't know where he was for that back post goal. I'll have to rewatch it, but didn't really notice, didn't really see him there. That's a worry, because maybe it was on the counter attack. I'll quickly see if I can find the goal now. Diaz goal, but listen, Mazraoui for me has got to be an average 6. We conceded 3 goals. Yes, he probably didn't have a part to play in conceding them, but still, he's the right back. Defensively, I think his game was good overall. I think going forward, he was okay. So Mazraoui is up the pitch, got caught out, De Ligt gets pulled over, and Liverpool have 2 players over. Mazraoui's running back a bit sluggishly, so maybe give him a 5. I think he is at fault for one of that goals. Back post defending is really, really poor. But yeah, that Casemiro pass was honestly shambolic. And I think moving on now to De Ligt, I think, listen, an average 6 performance today. I mean, he had that one when he absolutely clotted into Luis Diaz, which was a yellow card, but he had that one very good tackle against Jota. It was an average 6, a good debut start by him. Listen, he's got to do better. I think he gets caught out tracking Jota and leaves that back post free, which is kind of on him. But listen, going forward, De Ligt should be starting for United anyway. So listen, I'll give him an average 6. On the goal, listen, he's marking his man because Alessandro gets pulled out. And I think it's more Mazraoui's fault for me. Martinez, I don't think it was a great performance by him. I'm going to give him a 5.5. I think you look at Martinez, I think he was at fault for that Diaz second goal. I think he should read that game quicker, gets caught out. Was a bit sloppy in possession today. We know what Alessandro can do. I mean, he almost scored a bicycle kick, which would have been spectacular. Probably wouldn't have done anything in terms of the game, but yeah, ultimately, Manchester United defensively were poor today, and I think Lisandro Martinez was poor. I think Delot, I think he was probably one of our best players in that half. Made a few mistakes, was sloppy on the ball. 6 out of 10 for me, an average. Was okay on the ball. Didn't really get forward. Listen, Delot's doing us a big favour playing left back, so we got to give him credit for that. Other than that, didn't really give me too much confidence, and didn't really offer a threat. I think Salah, when he's having that threat against him, listen, couldn't really do anything more. So yeah, Delot an average 6. Now we get into the big one. Casemiro for me gets a 1 out of 10. He has to go. Casemiro cannot be starting big games for Manchester United. He can come on for last time 50 minutes to show out games, but please, I hope Ugarte is a quality player, because when he comes in, he has to start. And people are saying, I understand it is a structural problem. I think the midfield, the balance is really, really off, and I don't think there's much communication there. I think we're one pass away from getting a 4v2 in every situation, which I said in the match reaction, but we have to be extremely careful with what happened in that Manchester United midfield. And maybe Ugarte comes in and isn't the solution, but why not try it? And I'm sure he probably will be. I think he will be a massive change for Manchester United. Ten Hag massively messed up here, which I'll talk about Ten Hag in a moment. But yeah, this was shocking from start to finish, and a lot on Eric Ten Hag here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, for me, Casemiro, he has to go. He can't start games. Look at the mistakes, sloppy, and they weren't the only 2 mistakes. He made 3, 4, 5 mistakes in that game, which could have cost us goals. He looked sloppy in possession, and with Casemiro, we just don't know what we're going to get, and he's way too inconsistent. He's a liability in one of the biggest positions in the world. You look at Liverpool midfield today, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai in that role, 10 times better than Casemiro. You look at Man City, Rodri, Declan Rice. If Casemiro's 25, 26, he's brilliant. He just doesn't have the legs anymore, and he's making simple schoolboy errors, which you never would have seen him made. I don't know if he's tired, he's leggy, and yeah, listen, for me, Casemiro gets a 1. I think Mainu today, average. I'll give him a 5 actually, below average. I think Mainu, listen, he made a mistake for the goal, but I'm not solely pointing at him. Mainu's absolutely exhausted in that midfield. He's getting no help from Casemiro. He looks tired. He's playing 90 minutes every game. I think he did get taken off against Brighton, but he's playing a lot of minutes. He just looks leggy up and down the pitch. I think he did look sharp on the ball, some very, very good movements, a few good tackles. I think he was very, very smart on the ball, but ultimately, Mainoo needs that solid partner next to him who is compatible and work with him, will do the defensive role, allow Mainoo to do his role perfectly, and ultimately Casemiro doesn't give him that. I think when Mainoo plays with Casemiro, he's scared that he's going to get overrun, he's going to get overtaken, and ultimately that's something that we need to talk about, because Casemiro, for me, massively affects the way that Mainoo plays, and Erik ten Hag, needs to sort that midfield balance out quickly. I think Bruno has a part to play. Sometimes Bruno goes a bit high as well. So it's all about getting that correct balance in that midfield three. And I think Mainoo, for me, we literally just got dismantled in that midfield by Liverpool. So ultimately, we've got to look out for that going forward, because we've got to be careful with that midfield. I think in other games, it's not just the big games, it's every single game. Liverpool, Man City last season, Arsenal, like all these big teams will dismantle Manchester United midfield because it's too open. Ten Hag dismantle, and Casemiro is an absolute liability. So yeah, let me talk about Bruno. For me, a 5 as well. Underwhelming performance by him. It was poor on the ball, no end product. Listen, he does the pressing, but ultimately it was when things are going tough, you want to look for your captain, and I don't think it was the captain's performance really by Bruno today. If I'm being honest with you, you have to criticise him in these performances because it was not good at all. And ultimately, Erik ten Hag, this is not about dropping Bruno. Listen, it was a one-off game, but I think the whole team was shocking today, to be honest with you, and it was really, really poor. Ten Hag just got absolutely destroyed by Liverpool. But yeah, Bruno for me, I have 5 today. Poor performance by him. On the right, Garnacho as well, a 5. I think he didn't really offer too much. Got locked up by Robertson, was good defensively. And you can see the boos. When people are saying, why is Rashford coming off? Why is Garnacho coming off and Rashford not coming off? Like, I understand that. But ultimately, the manager has to make a decision. He thought it'd be best to keep on Rashford. And there is probably a Rashford agenda there. I think with Rashford's pace that he offers. But in this game, you have to make that big decision. Now, for me, it would have been Rashford off 100%. Rashford, for me, didn't really do anything in that game. Maybe a few defensive duels that he won. Got at Trent once, and he was getting booed. Yes, he put in 2 good crosses, but in a game, 2 good crosses, which we didn't convert, and a poor kind of 18 months has been now for Rashford. You can't really say 2 crosses justify him to start. Now, I think this international break has come at the perfect time for United. We go off, recuperate, and we need to see that style of play. Hopefully, Ugarte can come in. But on Rashford, for me, listen, our 3 wingers are Rashford, Garnacho, and Ahmad. They are main 3 wingers. So whoever starts, the third one's going to come on. So for me, why not just give Rashford a game on the bench and just see? Maybe he'd be a better threat coming off the bench. But Garnacho, for me, a 5. Moving on to Rashford, 4 for me. I think Rashford was poor today. Actually, no, I'll give him the same as Garnacho, because Garnacho didn't really have a better performance, and Rashford did put in those 2 good crosses. But you look at Rashford head down again, doesn't really look intrigued, doesn't look interested in the game. It's just not a good sight to see. And we're looking like we're getting the old Rashford way, head down, doesn't look confident, scared. And yeah, it was so disappointing to see from Marcus Rashford, because we know when Rashford's on it, he can be sharp, he can score goals, he's a big game player. But when he's not on it, he's disgraced. So for me, Rashford would be a 4, even not a 5 out of 10 actually. Xerxes for me, a 5 as well. I think, listen, Xerxes, he had the 2 chances which he should have scored. I think his pressing was good from the off, kind of playing that false 9 role, but striker role at the same time. Listen, we didn't create chances for him, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. We created 2 chances out of a whole 90-minute game. We need to be creating 5, 6, 7, even 10 chances a striker for a game. We look at how many Man City create for their play. We just really didn't do that. So listen, for me, that was the biggest issue. We didn't create any chances, and we didn't look like a threat from start to finish. Now, let me quickly look at the subs. For me, listen, Maguire came on an average 6, made a very, very good tackle, looked sharp on the ball. But yeah, an average 6. Amad Diallo, for me, honestly, a contender for man of the match. I think what he did in that period of time when he came on was brilliant. He looked sharp, attacked. Just looks like a direct, tenacious, tentative player who's a constant threat, weaving through players, had a few shots, had put a few crosses in, and for me has to be starting, whether it's on the right or on the left. He just offers a threat for Manchester United going forward, and shows purpose and intent, which Manchester United lacking today. As I say, Collier for me, listen, it was a very, very big call for Erik ten Hag to play him in this game. His full debut for United, coming on in the 46th minute, it was Listen, he had a decent game. He got shrugged off the ball all the time, but he's going to adjust to a game in a high toxic game, which it was for United. To come on and do what he did, you have to give big credit to him. And listen, he's 20. Is he 20? I think he is 20. Let's see. I'll check. Yeah, 20 years of age. Like, fair enough to the kid. To get thrown into a game like this and to do what he's done. Got on the ball, created a chance for Xerxes with that header down. Credit to kind of Collier. Then I've already talked about Ahmad Eriksson. Listen, 6 out of 10 average. Didn't really get much time. I don't think he even got a touch on the ball. Let's see how many touches Eriksson got quickly. Eriksson got touches. He had 3 touches in the game, so can't really talk about him. And then finally, Erik ten Hag. For me, 4 out of 10. The substitutions were wrong. I think keeping Casemiro on after that first goal, you should have hooked him. I think taking off Rashford, taking off Garnacho was the wrong decision, and ultimately that was the kind of biggest issues what I'd have with Erik ten Hag. So 4 out of 10, man of the match for me, Amad Diallo. No one else really showed a threat for United. But let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for that analysis coming. 5 things we learn, all of that stuff coming out. So thank you for watching. Who was your man of the match? And listen, Manchester United got absolutely dismantled from this game from start to finish. It was a shocker from start to finish, and ultimately Liverpool deserved and did get the win because United disgraced -3 goal difference. And same old for Manchester United. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.